तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनम कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Ma, they were discussing about the Keshav Chandra Sen. And this type of words like Keshav at one time thought a great deal of Christianity. Keshav now believed in Kali, the embodiment of spirit and consciousness, the primal energy. Now, within a few days, there will be Kali Puja. In just one sentence, Ramakrishna is mentioning what is actually Kali. This Kali, she is the embodiment of spirit and consciousness. The consciousness, it goes to, usually we say, is a Brahman. So Kali is also Brahman, as because she is also consciousness. Then the primal energy, the consciousness, at the same time the energy, the working capacity. He repeats the holy name of the Mother. This is the wonderful way, a system that has been developed in the Hindu religion, that if you repeat the name of God or Goddess, particularly Sri Ramakrishna, he was worshipping Goddess Kali, and that particular name of the Mother, it became so powerful. And slowly the Keshav Chandra Sen, when he came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, in the beginning he was doubtful about the Hinduism, he was doubtful about the Hindus' ways, and he was going towards the Christianity. Many of the, then those times the people, they converted themselves into Christianity because they were confused about the Hinduism. It was not very clear. And that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, he came and he was establishing this Hinduism. And here he started by worshipping the goddess Kali. That is the primal energy, the power which is there within our heart, within every human being. Only if we can repeat that name, all the bondages will go away. So this wonderful system of repeating the name of Goddess is introduced. Then the Master Mahashaya was telling, the soil of this country is different. Only what is true survives here. The Master Mahashaya, he was telling about the truth. And Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, that is so. The Sanatana Dharma, the eternal religion declared by the rishis, will alone endure. Here he mentions about the Sanatana Dharma that we were reading the last time, the Sanatana Dharma. So what is this Sanatana Dharma? The Sanskrit word Sanatana means eternal. And the Dharma means righteousness. So eternal cosmic order mentioned, this thing was mentioned, Sanatana Dharma, mentioned in the Manusmriti and the Bhagavata. The Sanatana Dharma is a process of spiritual development based on the Vedic revelation. We have to understand two things. Whatever we see, we find, we touch, we can smell, within all these 5 things that we are having, within that, whatever is there, we think that is the only thing. That is a mistake. That is exactly what the rishis, they are telling. Beyond that also, behind that also, there are many other things, and that is the consciousness is present, it is there. Vedanta means going, breaking, they say, all these bondages. The bondage of these five, they are constantly dragging us down, our mind, to these worldly things which are temporary. And here Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning Sanatana Dharma. Immediately he said what the rishis they mentioned. The eternal religion declared by the rishis. Rishis are the seers. They revealed, they saw, they experienced. Then only they were propagating, they were telling, this is the thing that happened. And the other thing, that is all intellectual, many, the thoughts that came, the movement that came. So that was all intellectual. That which has come through revelation, through realization, that is the truth. The Master Mahashaya, he was mentioning, in this country, on this soil, that means in the India, only truth is accepted. It survives and nothing else. And Sri Ramakrishna, he is supporting that, telling this is the eternal religion that will alone endure, because this is the truth. Whether you accept it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you like it or not, this is the truth and it is going to happen. Swami Vivekananda, he is mentioning, before the discovery of the law of gravitation was there. The force of gravitation was there. If all the humankind they forget about this, it will be there. So this is the truth. Similarly, the human being is nothing but the divine. All being are nothing but the divine. That is the truth. And that truth was revealed to the rishis, and that they were mentioning there are two things are there. One is the consciousness, another the same consciousness active, creating, sustaining, preserving, destroying, that activity. These are the two things constantly going on doing. And we come to this, and that is this truth. Revelation is this truth. Understanding this truth, reaching to this conclusion, that is called Sanatana Dharma. It has nothing to do with any narrow sense. This is the process that makes a brute unto man, man unto God, as Swamiji is telling. Saturday, January 5th, 1884, we are starting from page number 378 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It was the 23rd day of M, stay with Sri Ramakrishna. Master Mahashaya, he was staying with his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna, and he was practicing intense spirituality. He came, saluted his master Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna was telling, I want to know how you meditate. When I meditated under the bale tree, I used to see various visions clearly. Then he is mentioning about different type of visions. Do you see? So that is his question. And that direct experiences, that is the main thing. How a person will get interest in practicing meditation if he is not having some darshan, revelation. Then Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning very unique way, a small balance as two needles, the upper and the lower. Though we know that nowadays, of course, everything is totally different type, but even in the villages, that ancient old fashion is there, the balance, it is having the two needles, one in the upside and the below. When that comes in a straight way, that means the way is correct. He is quoting that small balance as two needles, the upper and the lower. Mind is the lower needle. I was always afraid lest the mind should move away from the upper needle. So otherwise, that means he wants to say the mind, if it goes to the worldly things, goes away from the God, I would see a man always sitting by me with a trident in his hand. He threatened to strike me with it if the lower needle moved away from the upper one. That is his own experience. When he used to meditate, he used to get the guidance of directly from the Shiva, and that way he was practicing meditation. Then he is telling that is the system of the mind, condition of the mind, and when we come and sit and meditate, not that it will be possible for anyone. Why? Spiritual progress is possible. No spiritual progress is possible without the renunciation of lust and gold. That is the main thing. No spiritual progress is possible without the renunciation of lust and gold. Gold means the money, wealth, and the lust means desire. If we have the desire, how can we get God? There are so many desires. Obviously, the mind is going towards that. I really feel this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is a book of spirituality. Those who are sincere, they should read it. Whatever the religion, the path they are following, it doesn't matter. But it gives so practical the instructions. Those who are trying to practice meditation, why they are practicing? If it is spiritual progress, then this is the thing first and foremost we have to check in our mind. Are we having the lust? Are we having the desire? And to fulfill that desire, we are going on trying to get the money, the wealth, the name, the fame, all that is coming after that. In that case, we can practice religion to be a little moral, nothing wrong, but we will never be able to realize God. So that's why he is telling no spiritual progress is possible without renunciation. How can one expect to attain God without renunciation? Suppose one thing is placed upon another, how can you get the second without removing the first? This is the secret of success in spiritual life. People who are having both, people who are having the desire for name, fame, money, at the same time, if they say that they have realized God, we have every reason to doubt about their demand. So because it is not possible, in Hindi couplet again and again they say, Jahan Ram tahan nahi Kaam, Jahan Kaam tahan nahi Ram. So if that is the so, how can one expect to attain God without renunciation? Renunciation of what? Desire. And where from the desire comes? From the ego, the I consciousness. And Sri Ramakrishna is giving a wonderful example and giving the hints. Suppose one thing is placed upon another, how can you get the second without removing the first? One must pray to God without any selfish desire. But selfish worship, if practiced with perseverance, is gradually turned into selfless worship. He is again giving the another. Sometimes some people they start with the selfish way, but slowly, when they are going on practicing it, as because it is the truth, as because it is the religion, as because it is the God, slowly minds become completely purified without any ego. That dawns. If we take the name of God, if we are praying to God, effect will be obviously good. And what is that good effect? All our ego becoming lower and lower, and revelation, the idea, will surely come about the realization of God. Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving the Example, Dhruva is a classical character. This Dhruva is a small boy, little boy. He went to his father who was a king. But the king could not take him on his lap. Why? Because his mother was not accepted. And that is the reason. The stepmother never allowed Dhruva to come near his father, the king. Dhruva was sad. He came back to his mother. Why? And who can help me? The mother said, only God can help you, Lord Vishnu. So Dhruva went inside and he was praying, crying, I want to go and get the affection of my father. I want to get the share of this kingdom because I am also a prince. Oh God, please help me. My mother said, you are the only person who can do it. When he was going on praying, a guru came, that is the Narada, and he said, this is the name, you go on repeat. You need not to roam around, you sit over here and go on repeating. Dhruva started repeating. Now, Dhruva is getting the message, the mantra of the Diksha from the Guru, and his desire is to get that kingdom. He is going on practicing. Then when the God really appeared before him, he told, no, I don't need that. So that Dhruva practiced tapasya to obtain his kingdom. But at last he realized, God, why should a man give up gold if he gets his whole searching for glass beads? So when I get God, why should I go for the kingdom? It is nothing. God can be realized when a man acquires Sattva. Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning about the three gunas, Sattva, Raja and Tama. These are other research work. As a human being behaves very peculiarly. A person now is always in the news. He killed so many people for nothing actually. He was having the guns and the ammunitions, and he was killing the innocent people whom he never met. Why? Still it is not revealed. Research is going on, police is trying, and the man himself is dead. Nobody knows what was actually his intention to kill in that way. Depression or what? But the same person was so careful about his wife. He had sent his wife, as the report goes, to a distant place, arranged money for her, everything he was taking care. At the same time, so cruel that he was killing the innocent people. So this is the very peculiar mentality we find in the human being. He is so good, so compassionate, so careful, so caring. At the same time, he is cruel. So why? So the rishis, they discovered within every human being there are three different qualities. A mental condition changes. One is Sattva. At the time of Sattva, the mind becomes very happy, likes to help others, like to take care of others, all those good qualities that comes. Second is very egoistic. A third, of course, at the last one, the Sattva, then comes second is the Raja, then Tama. Tama is the last and the worst type of qualities in the same person. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. The first one, the Sattva, the love, the purity, the compassion, the desire to help. That quality, if a person is developing, then only he will be able to realize God, otherwise not. God can be realized when a man acquires Sattva. Householders engage in philanthropic work, such as charity, mostly with a motive. Sometimes some people, they write to us, we also do, we also help them. They say, can you please send my money to so-and-so place, so-and-so people? Then why don't you send it directly? No, because if I send that to them, I won't get the tax benefit. So I want to give you so that I get the tax benefit, and that money should go over there, so they will know that I have sent, and when I go to that particular place, they will recognize me, and this different type of way they do. What is that? Philanthropic work. Why they are doing? With a selfish motive. What is the result? Not spiritual development. That is very clear. So, same thing, if they do, I can give so much of money, why don't you forgive all those things, the tax deduction and all that. If you give to this center, get the tax deduction, that is separate. But they are taking the help of this center, sending the money to somebody else, taking the credit from them, keeping all contact with them, nothing wrong. Only thing, as per Sri Ramakrishna, they are not going to acquire the sattva. So that is the philanthropic work, such as charity, mostly with a motive. That is not good, the Sri Ramakrishna is telling. But actions without motives are good. Same thing, if they do without any motive, immediately they will be spiritually developed. Sattva qualities will develop, and slowly, slowly, they will go towards the realization of God, which is the highest goal of every human life. Yet it is very difficult to leave motives out of one's actions. So that is what they say. Must not one perform act of compassion? Sri Ramakrishna is asking himself, such as charity to the poor? And then he is giving the reply, I do not forbid it. If a man has money, he should give it to remove the sorrows and sufferings that come to his notice. But inwardly, he feels, what can I do? God alone is the doer, I am nothing. So friends, this is what Sri Ramakrishna is, the master. He is the teacher. He is the compassionate one, the God himself. So always, every time, in every step, in every sentence, he is careful about the development of the spiritual progress. And that is why he is telling in this way, if you are doing, please do it. But at the same time, please think, what can I do? Can I really remove the suffering of people? Am I so great? No, it is not possible. God alone is the doer. I am nothing. If you think in this way, the great achievement, the great soul, deeply affected by the sufferings of men, show them the way to God. There are different type of dana. In the Indian way, they always say, the dana, that the charity, that the donation, that help that we are giving, the first is the annadana, vastradana, drabbadana, and this way it goes, but last is the jnanadana. What is the jnana? That God is the doer. So happiness and suffering are the inevitable characteristics of the body. Those who are practicing religion, not that they won't suffer, not that they will all the time be happy, though they are trying. But when they realize God, then only they become completely happy. Happiness and sufferings are the inevitable characteristics of the body. One thing needful is jnana and bhakti. God alone is substance. All else is illusory. So one thing needful is jnana and bhakti. Jnana is what? God alone is substance. All else is illusory. This is the jnana. And along with that, Sri Ramakrishna is asking for bhakti, the devotion. Nimbarka, who is also the Dvaita, Advaita. So that is the philosophy he is mentioning. So we'll be, maybe in the coming Sunday, we'll be discussing about that. It's a very interesting way they are explaining. He is telling devotion is not necessary because the Brahman, though he is God, but he is not person. So when there is no personality is there, whom you are going to worship, so that is his way. We will discuss in details in the coming Sunday, maybe. So here we find Jnana and Bhakti. Sri Ramakrishna is telling Jnana should be there and Bhakti also should be there. Bhakti means the devotion. At Jnana, one knowledge, God alone is substance. If a man is firmly convinced that God alone is the doer and that he himself is nothing, then he will never make a false step. Those who are not that way spiritual and cannot understand what is spirituality, is the benefit of spirituality, their conception of God is a sort of protection from the God, as we are taking different other measures in the society. Insurance is there, the police information is there, all this. Similarly, God is also one of that type of thing, protecting us. That is a different way. But those who are talking about the spirituality, development of spiritual knowledge, realization of the God, for them these are the words that Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. If a man is firmly convinced that God alone is the doer and that he himself is nothing, then he will never make a false step. Why? Because there is no ego. When there is no ego, what happens? Again and again, he is giving the example of the small children. This is all the time depending on the mother. And they are not holding the hand of the mother. Mother is holding the hand of that child who is a toddler, doesn't know how to walk properly. He doesn't know where the difficulties, mother will take care. Similarly, if one is depending completely on God, there will be no problem. And those who have realized God are aware that free will is a mere appearance. Sometimes some people, they talk about the free will. This free will, Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, it is there. But after the realization of the God, they can understand that it's a mere appearance. In reality, man is the machine and God is its operator. Sri Ramakrishna himself is to say, I do not know anything. When Totapuri came, after seeing the Sri Ramakrishna, those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you all know, is a beautiful way it is described. That Totapuri told, I like to give you Advaita Jnana, I like to teach you. Sri Ramakrishna immediately said, wait, I like to get the permission from my mother. And he went to the temple and got the permission of the mother, the divine mother Kali, and came back and reported, yes, mother said, you have come only for me. I will take that. So that is the way he is having the relation with that God, mother and son relation. And for everything, a grown-up man, a 30 years, a fully grown-up man, he is going just like a child to his mother, asking permission, coming back. And that is called truly God-intoxicated person. He doesn't know anything except God. And for him, God is Mother Kali. So when he mentioned, in reality, man is the machine and God its operator, man is the carriage and God its driver. in Vishishta Dvaita, Dvaita Dvaita, apne embark, believe God is the controller. He is sitting inside and in controlling. So that conception, when it is clear, when we realize that, then there is no problem. One is jnana, who never expects anything from anyone, he is very firm, and that is a totally different way. Majority of the people are not that strong, and for them the Sri Ramakrishna is putting this. If you are constantly depending on the God, who is your controller, who is your master, as your mother, as your father, you believe and practice, then there will be no problem. He said, those who are firmly established in God may do as well without the devotee. Association of the devotees are necessary. Again and again, this type of classes we are describing. Anyone can read this book. Book is available. But when you are discussing, that is also a one type of wonderful way to help us. That is the association help. We are discussing about God, and that association is helping. So he is telling, but those who are established in God may do as well without devotee. This is true of those who feel the presence of God both within and without. Sometimes they don't enjoy the devotee's company. So this is what happens when a man is completely immersed in God. Anyone coming, talking, or presence is also disturbing because the mind is completely engrossed in the God. Now, he is talking to the Master Mahashaya, and he is pointing to the Baburam. Baburam afterwards, he became a very famous sannyasi of the Ramakrishna order. Sri Ramakrishna used to love him very much, Swami Premananda. You see, my own people have become strangers. The Sri Ramakrishna is talking about his own mind, because after the realization of God, that should be the attitude of a sannyasi, a mind that has given up all other things except God. Ramlal and my other relatives seem to be foreigners. Ramlal is a nephew. His all relatives seem to be foreigners. He is not keeping their company and not liking their company. And strangers have become my own. Why? Is the ideology, is the love for God. The same thing will happen in our lives also. Our friends, our relatives, our known people, we don't feel that happiness in their company. Rather, we feel happiness totally unknown people, but they love Sri Ramakrishna, but they love the philosophy of Ramakrishna, Vivekananda. They also are growing up in this atmosphere. They become our own, and Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, because the one Swamiji told me when I went to visit one ashram in Vrindavan, and he was telling, I told Swamiji, we visited this thing, that thing. Then suddenly he said, do you think that this is your own? In Bengali he said, Apon bodh holo? Do you feel that all these things are your own? I couldn't understand that at that very moment. Only the very elderly Swami, so with respect I said yes. Afterwards I pondered, and then I felt he was mentioning all that you see belongs to Sri Ramakrishna. And naturally I love Sri Ramakrishna. All these things belong to my God, my beloved. So it is my own. That love, that affection, do you feel like that? So that is called the love for God. Sri Ramakrishna, the man like him, he is telling, you see, my own people have become strangers, and the strangers have become my own. I used to sit there In course of time, I became mad. That phase also passed away. Kala, which is Shiva, is Brahman. That which sports with Kala is Kali, the primal energy. Kali moves even the immutable. So this is the great expression of the Kali. The Kali that we think is nothing but the energy, the supreme energy, the primal energy that can move even the immutable. So that is why that which sports with Kala is Kali. The power of Kala, Kala the Shiva, which is Brahman. Then he said to Master Mahasaya, this is very interesting. Today is Saturday. Go to the temple of Kali. Why he mentioned Saturday? In another time also he said Tuesday and Saturdays are honey days. The honey days means these are the days when the power of God, it manifests. Master Mahasaya, in the book they are giving this note, Saturday and Tuesday are regarded as auspicious days for the worship of the Divine Mother, Kali. Today is Tuesday. And most of the ashramas over here that's why they have kept a class in the Tuesday. This is a weekday, it is very difficult for people to come and attend the classes. But most of the ashrama, as because they are very close to the cities, they get the audience and they give the class. Our ashrama is little away from the cities and the localities, so there is no neighborhoods. So that is the reason. So here he says the Saturday and Tuesdays are regarded as auspicious days for the worship of the Divine Mother. You better go to the Kali temple on Saturday. As the master came to the Bakul tree, those who have visited the Dakshineshwar, they know, but still that tree is there, Bakul tree is there. And that the steps that is going down to the Ganga, where the mother used to bathe, she used to use that particular steps to go to bathe in the Ganga. So that is still there. The master was coming from the Panchavati. When he reached to the Bakul tree, he said, Chidatma and Chit Shakti. Chit Atma and Chit Shakti. Now he is giving, in a very gist, the excellent the teachings of the Tantra. Chid Atma and Chid Shakti. The Purusha is the Chid Atma and Prakriti is the Chit Shakti. Krishna is the Chid Atma and Sri Radha is the Chit Shakti. That this way he is giving the example, the devotees are so many forms of Chit Shakti. In one time, a great Vaishnava saint, he was the disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Jiva Goswami. And there was another lady saint, she wanted to meet the Jiva Goswami. This was in Vrindavan. Jiva Goswami, he refused to meet this lady. There are some practices, they won't like to meet or talk or see the ladies. So he said, no, I am a monk, I am not going to meet the ladies. Then she said, do you think that you are a male? So that is the question. There is only one Purusha is there, that is Krishna, who is residing in every being, living in the Pura, in the hearts of the human being. So he is called Purusha. It has nothing to do with the male body or female body. Here you find the Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning the devotees are, he is not mentioning only the lady devotees, he is mentioning all devotees. The devotees are so many forms of the Chit Shakti. This is the philosophy. We are studying the philosophy in every Sunday now. and we were discussing about the Ramanuja's Vishishta Dvaita. There is only one consciousness, and in the next Sunday, when we'll be discussing about that, there's a very interesting way to understand. There is only one Chid Shakti, a Chid Atma, but that Atma, that Shakti is reflected everywhere. So Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning they should think of themselves as companions of the Chit Shakti, Sri Radha. This is the whole gist of the thing. The whole religion depends on this. One is consciousness, another consciousness when active. So one is Chid Atma, that consciousness which Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning as Sri Krishna because it is easy to understand. And at the same time, this Sri Krishna, when active, is Sri Radha. It's not different. But all others, that Shakti is reflected. So they can think that they are the companions of the Chidatma. They are reflected by the Chit Shakti. They are also Chit Shaktis. Of whom? Of the Krishna. So we belong to Krishna. We are the parts and parcel of that. This is the whole gist. The master was in Samadhi, and he began to come gradually down to the normal plane. He was speaking to the mother like a small child. Mother, why haven't you revealed to me that form of yours, the form that beswitches the world? I pleaded with you so much for it, but you won't listen to me. You act as you please. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to see that form, how the same God is manifesting in every being and deluding people, giving knowledge to people, how all these things are happening. He wanted to see that, but the mother didn't show that, so he is complaining. And he went on telling to mother, and the Master Mahashaya noticing the voice in which these words were uttered, very touching. He went on, Mother, one needs faith. Away with this wretched reasoning. One needs faith. Faith in the words of the Guru, childlike faith. So this is, today we will conclude over here, the faith. So this is really very difficult. Do we have faith in everything except in the faith of the Guru? Guru means the God. The God has come again and again in human form, in different places, in different time. And he said that he is there. He can be achieved. He can be realized. We always doubt those words, whereas we believe everything. When a person is giving an advertisement that I have developed a medicine, and if you take this medicine, all these things will be cured, are we really having each and every one of us going and examining that? No. I go and ask the doctor, is it all right? Yes, all right. I take that. Is it not faith? In the whole life is all faith and belief. I do not know what is going to happen. The leaders who are having their bodyguards with the armed bodyguards, they are believing those bodyguards. They are completely depending on those bodyguards. It is also faith. But the words of this Guru, we do not believe. So here Sri Ramakrishna is telling, this is the faith. We will discuss about the faith and also the other teachings of Sri Ramakrishna in our next class. Let us conclude with this. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai ishavasaram parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat.